Innovative Marshfield, the Coven Connection and Marshfield Broadcasting is sponsored by the Vault Marshfield. This downtown hub brings entrepreneurs, creatives, and small businesses together under one roof. Enjoy co-working with the Coven, Uptown Coffee, and boutique shops at the 715. The Vault is where ideas grow and community thrives. Learn more at vault-219.com and thecoven.com/Marshfield. Thank you for supporting local community TV.
Hi everybody, I'm Marsha Bushman. I'm coming to you from the Vault, which is the overarching building on Central Avenue in downtown Marshfield. We are sitting today within our Coven location, which is our community co-working space, which is one of the really exciting things that we're going to talk about today. So we're going to talk about what this series is going to offer you, what we're going to highlight, what you can expect from us, and hopefully give you some entertaining clips along the way. Today I have with me Jose Ortiz, who works with the Coven Marshfield, and I'm really excited to have him share his perspective on what this space is all about. I'm going to share a little bit about what my perspective of this space is as the owner and the founder, but having Jose here and having him work really intimately with all of the members within the Coven has been a whole new experience for us, and having someone to bounce ideas off of is also really fun. So I thought it'd be good to hear a couple of different perspectives, and we're excited to take you with us along the way. So Jose, let's start with a brief introduction. So I know that what my vision for this space was really about being somewhat of a miniature incubator, if you will. And the idea that people could come here, they could start their businesses here, they could work independently, solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, and that they could really kind of flourish here. And so you happen to be a solopreneur, an entrepreneur. You've got an amazing backstory. And so I'd love to hear from you. When I had thrown this out there and said, I'm looking for someone to come help with the Coven, what was it that excited you about that opportunity?
Well, I mean, obviously the space is just, it's very beautiful, and it just the aesthetic of it, it just feels very comfortable, very cozy. And then having, a partner with like Uptown Coffee Shop, and then with the 715 store, I mean, it just feels like community. It just feels like very comfortable. And also like it to me, looking from the outside, it just seems like this creative hub of, place where like you said, entrepreneurs, business owners, creatives, you name it, nonprofits and all that. So that's one of the things that attracted me to this, is that it's just a culmination of different things. You know what I mean? And that was the main thing.
Yeah. And we really try hard to make this space inclusive of that, right? I always kind of say it's a community within a community, because as you mentioned, we have the Uptown Coffee Company.
Yeah.
We have the 715.
It's perfect fit for this space. Yeah.
Yeah. And the things we can do together, right? We've talked about some of the dual types of opportunities to promote, to bring in entertainment, which I know is also something near and dear to your heart.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. We're hoping to, I know in the past, we've done events and entertainment. We were talking about like music, or having a comedian. So we want to keep offering those events, which I think I'm excited about. Having those events
and the podcasting.
And the podcasting, yeah. So for those people who are just learning about the Coven, we have an upcoming project. We have a podcast room, so we're hoping to host like podcast one-on-one, or if you're somebody who wants to learn how to start a podcast, or if you're somebody who's looking to maybe you have your equipment, you want to bring it here and produce your podcast. It's endless. Opportunity here at the Coven. So
for sure. So one of the things that we have been talking about most recently is the various different pocket offices, as we call them, within the space.
Right.
And so interestingly, one of the things that I had really hoped would happen was that people would start with a small office. They would decide they need a bigger space, and they would essentially move upstairs or move even out of the building. As much as we hate to lose people, we do want to see our businesses grow.
Yeah.
And so I know one of the things that you've been working really hard on right now is filling our 3 pocket offices that vacated when people either moved upstairs or moved into larger spaces. So can you talk a little bit about that?
I mean, really, because I'm just thinking like, who would want to, come to the space and utilize the space, and who will enjoy it? I mean, anybody, because I'm just thinking of like, if you're a person who, works remotely, and they just want like a different vibe, and want to, switch it up at home, that'll be perfect for them, or if you're like a nonprofit organization who just wants to have a place where just an office where they can meet up, maybe like a few times a month or so. This is just the perfect place. Or if you're, if you're a startup or entrepreneur, pretty much, I mean, anybody,
Yeah.
anybody. The perks, about utilizing one of those offices that, you got your coffee shop. It's just essential, and you could just go to the coffee shop. And the thing is also too, what I learned about is that, because I've been, just started working here with you. And just the people, like you get that sense of community,
Yeah.
like the people that I've met, and it just ranges from like mothers who's got like 3 kids to
Yeah.
entrepreneurs, or like a friend who's writing, her book,
Yeah.
too. So this is just like a very eclectic, inclusive environment. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I love that because, what's interesting is that we are meeting people that have some pretty
Mhm.
exciting talents
Yeah.
or working on some pretty
Mhm.
exciting things that we don't know about. I
Mhm.
mean, I know several that are working on writing a book,
Yeah. Yeah.
um,
Which is
some
awesome.
that are
Yeah.
doing gaming. I mean,
Yeah.
people that I don't know that I would have ever
Yeah.
met otherwise that come to this space because it gives
Yeah.
them a place. A law student who, spent her entire summer here studying because she
Yeah.
needed that space
Yeah. Mhm.
24/7. So yeah, a lot of really cool
And
people.
one of the things that I've been learning is that the Coven's been becoming like this hub of just like if you're a person who's coming out of town or maybe you're new to Marshfield, it's becoming like what do you call it? Like just the hub of information, like where you can go up to uptown or you can come to us like, hey, so I'm new to this town. Can you tell me like what events, goes on
Yeah.
around here? And like, so we can tell them, all the community, events that happen here in Marshfield. So it's becoming like this, place where, people get together, and just talk about, events and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So it's yeah, and that's what makes me, excited about it.
And so let's talk a little bit about the space that we're
Yeah,
in, right? Because not only do we have this space, but we have conference room space. And
right,
so sometimes I think until a person actually physically walks into a space, it's hard for them to visualize what they would do in that space. Can you give some examples
right.
of maybe special events back here
Yeah,
or things that people have used the conference room for?
yeah. So there's 2 things that I enjoy. The one thing that I enjoy the most is like when a person just it's very new and they haven't been here before, and they have the idea. It's like, oh, I could have my party here. It's like, yeah, we can have your party here. Um, and the other part is like, well, you can utilize the space. We have, we're filming this in like the backspace of the Coven. And I mean, this is essentially just an area. It's an open space where you can utilize it for very many different things. Like holiday parties. Like you can host your yoga session here.
Yep, we've
You
done
can
yoga.
like yeah, right, yeah. So it's really I mean, just if you can imagine it, we'll make it.
Yeah,
We'll make it happen. So.
I love that.
Mhm.
And then what about the conference rooms?
The conference rooms, I mean, there are, we have 2 conference room. So one's the Summit, I believe it's called the Summit,
Yeah.
which is, I mean, you can utilize it for, for any type of gatherings, or you can also, I know we hosted like a business one-on-one
Mm-hmm.
there, which was very cool, very exciting. I was, part of it,
Yeah.
and it was very cool. It was very conversational. So so you can utilize it for that, or you can use it just to meet, have a like a meet and greet, or if you want to talk about your startup or
Mm-hmm.
want to have an interview there. So it really there's really a lot of opportunities to do all
Yeah.
those things. And we have the other smaller room for smaller
Yeah.
group of people. So there's definitely everything here
Yeah.
that you need. There's a little bit for everybody.
For
Yeah.
sure. And so people always ask, how do you access it? How do you pay for it? How does that work?
Hmm.
And one of the things that I really like about this model is that certainly there's a membership-based component to
Right.
it.
Hmm.
or there can be the office space component to it. But really, anybody can come in and reserve these spaces as well, which is really nice. You don't have to commit to a membership.
Yeah.
But I also think that we try to make the options really extremely affordable for people, for anybody, regardless of whether you are, a poor college student, all the way up through you're running a large corporation and you need to use the conference room for strategic planning. I
Right.
think there's always opportunity there.
Yeah, and I just love that part. The part that I mentioned. There's really, anybody can utilize the space. Really, there's just so many opportunities. Like we said before, and if you have an idea, and there's certainly that we can make it happen. So
Yeah.
that part excites me. So it's really cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. So you and I got to know each other a little bit before you started working for the Coven.
A little bit, yeah.
Because you have a really exciting and interesting background as well. And the reason that I bring this up is because
Okay. Uh-huh.
one of the things that we really hope to do with this series is to highlight individuals who are doing amazing things in our community
Yeah.
that people may not know because they might be doing it quietly, they might be doing it out of the comfort of their home, whatever the case might be.
Right.
Or they might just be new entrepreneurs. But we have a lot of really exciting businesses in this community. And that really is the focus, is we're going to be talking to, we'll have one episode talking specifically actually about healthcare, because there are a couple of new
Which is very
practitioners in the
important.
community, which is huge, right?
Like
for
wellness.
every one of these populations.
Mhm.
And they're not just working within the confines of a health system, but they're doing some really unique, novel things. So we'll talk
Yeah.
about that. I got to tell you, one of the things I'm really excited about is that we have a lot of female founders in the downtown, and they're
Oh, yeah,
offering
that's right.
really
That's true.
niche collective kinds of things.
Yeah.
So we'll be talking about that.
Yeah.
So a whole broad array of topics, but let's turn it back on you for a second. So tell us about your
Let's make it
background.
about me now.
Let's talk about you. Because one of the things I really liked about you the first time I
Yeah.
met you is that you just had this almost an array of things that you've done
Yeah.
and a lot of cultural experiences. And I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah. I think, I spent like maybe 5 going to 6 years now, just immersing myself into entrepreneurship, and then just grow, not only that, but growing myself as a greater person, not only as an entrepreneur, but just like as a self,
Yeah.
as Jose,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And that big part was like, um, being an entrepreneur, but then also, growing my wealth. But wealth doesn't, sometimes it's not money, but it's just like time and doing the things that I really love
Yeah.
doing. That, to me, that's wealth. And I've just been doing very many different things, many different things like podcasting, entrepreneurship. I started a coffee shop. I manage a coffee shop, and I've been doing a lot of things. And I think, when you invited me to your to the Coven, it was like, I think this is a perfect fit, because I've been doing, all of this, from like social media to running a business, so I understand, when I talk to business. One of the things that I wanted to tell you is that I'm excited to be part of this, is that there's so many people that are good at what they do, whether it's like me, whether if it's like podcasting or writing a book, or whatever it is, like skincare, wellness, if you have whatever it is. But sometimes they lack that business aspect. We're like, well, I know I'm really good at this, but like now I'm trying to, grow. And I think that's one part of it. And I think the Coven's a place too where you can come, and if we don't have an answer, we can certainly, send them over to an expert. So that's one of the things that makes me excited, kind of meeting those people and helping those people, and I hope we can continue.
Yeah.
I don't know if you had any specific questions, but that's just
that's exactly where I was going with that.
So,
And so you have been around Marshfield for a long time, but
Yeah.
you're a relatively new resident to Marshfield. So
Yeah. Mhm.
I'd love, from your perspective, coming new into the community,
Yeah.
trying to do some new and exciting things here. What
Yeah.
has that felt like? Have you really kind of felt like you've fallen into place with finding the resources that you need? Has
Yeah.
it been a little bit of a challenge? Because I think that's something that comes up a lot when we talk about new businesses or new individuals coming into the community. Do we have everything that they need to be successful?
From my perspective, it's kind of challenging, and I'm just like talking about other business owners. It is a little bit challenging, and I think it becomes because they lack in my opinion, I'm talking as Jose, they like education, they like the resources. So I'm
Yeah.
hoping, that with the work that we're doing here at the Coven, that we can highlight, the those needs that those entrepreneurs need.
Yeah.
Like I said before, there's so many Mexican restaurants, and there's so many, like salons, and there's so many like little coffee shops and like that. All of them are really good at what they do, whether if it's
Yeah.
like making the perfect coffee, or making the perfect authentic Mexican dish. But at times, they need that support, which is like, how do I do my finances? How do I
Yeah.
do my taxes?
Yeah.
How do I? Is there any other grants that could support my business? Is there any other opportunities? So that's why I'm looking to do together in the future to
Yeah.
kind of highlight some of those things that there is help. And that's one of the things that I learned. So I had to learn all this when I started. For people that don't know me, I started out working at the Marshfield Clinic. So you go from the working at the Marshfield Clinic to jumping into like literally just the dream of just having your business. But there comes a time where your dream can get you so far, and then you gotta start thinking about those things like finances. Like, I'm not selling, like, and then it's investing some money in promotion, marketing. And then also, like, one of the things that I learned from my mentor is that also your foundation has to be like really concrete. Like, foundation to me is that making sure, like, obviously you're not gonna buy more product that you're selling, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then your taxes, your finances, you gotta make sure you're making enough to pay bills, like all that. Those are the things that I had to learn. I kind of learned backwards.
Yeah.
And those are one of the things that we're hoping to work together, and be kind of like that sigh of relief to a lot of entrepreneurs.
Yeah. And we did a little bit of that with, you mentioned this earlier, the SBDC,
Yeah,
which is the Small Business Development
yeah,
Center. We
which is
had
was
them
great.
come, which
Yeah,
is amazing. We have, between all of us here,
yeah,
we've got a lot of different connections and contacts to people that are
yes,
willing to
yeah,
come in and do trainings and
yeah.
seminars. And I think for me, I always think about like what motivates me. And at the end of the day,
Oh, right, right.
I feel like I'm a little bit of a builder in that
Yeah,
I
you
just
are.
want to help people figure out what they want to do and
Yeah.
how to get there, and then
Mm-hmm.
you take it and run. And
Yeah.
that's essentially kind of what I felt like I've done here. And now I'm like, okay, Jose,
Yeah.
take it
Well,
and run.
the way that I look at it is like, like a baby. It's like, oh, here's my baby, take care
Yep.
of it. But one of the things, Marsha, that in I want, whosoever's, seeing this program, like, I really admire your work ethic. And I probably because Marsha has been like so busy, so I haven't had the chance to like express myself. But when I was doing like research, and when I was doing, looking at your social media, because that's one of the things that I did,
Hmm.
kind of like just getting to know the Coven. And I came across this video where you were just promoting the business, the place that we're sitting here.
Yeah.
But that was just like, it was just like a canvas. That was like, you were doing a lot of
Yeah.
construction, and I admire that. And to me, that was like a selling point,
Yeah.
that no matter what you do, you'll find a way, whether if you have support or not. Because and this is the thing that I identify as, is like, whether you help me or not, it's gonna happen. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like, no matter if you support me or not, like this, like, there's no other option. This
Yeah.
will continue. And that was one of the things that really attracted me to this point, just like, in that, just showcase like your passion, your work ethic, and just your vision. And I think that's something that's powerful,
Yeah.
that one day there was, this was just an idea maybe a year or two ago. You envision it, and like, it's here, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And when we're making this program, and I think that's what makes excited, to partner and work together. It's just something really cool. So I'm
Yeah.
hoping we can continue to offer that energy, that vibes to people who would want to work together, who
Yeah.
want to work with us. If you want us to help you and guide you and support you, and do the same, it's a testament. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
For sure. For sure.
yeah,
That's wonderful. Thank you.
yes, of course.
So let's do a speed round.
Sure.
All right. So I'm going to fire a couple of questions at you.
Okay, I'm
And
ready.
and you think of the first thing that comes to mind. Let's see if I can come up with some good questions here.
Okay.
All right. Your favorite go-to drink at Uptown Coffee Company?
Well, right now, toasted marshmallow. I know they've been serving
Mm.
some really good toasted marshmallow, and they literally toast the marshmallow. So I think that's cool.
All right.
That's
Nice.
my go-to.
Good. Your most productive time of day?
For me, it's like, at night, because at night, for me, it's quiet. My daughter's asleep. I can get in front of the computer, and that's like where I'm most productive. That's
Yeah.
why I can respond to your emails and your
At
text
any
right
time.
away. Yeah. Because I'm
Well,
I'm up and I'm like,
yeah, and
firing in all cylinders. Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
And for others that are like you,
Hmm.
we are a 24/7 facility here.
That is true. Yeah.
So, that was a big deal as well to be able to do that 24/7 access because of the fact that there aren't a lot of places that you can
No.
go 24/7 if for those people that
And
maybe
that's
they
hard
do have a
though.
side hustle
Yeah.
or even have kids, right?
Because that
Like,
would be hard to be productive if you're like one of those night owls, I guess you could say, and
yeah.
you're finding a place to be productive. I mean, you could be at home, but yeah, there's so many distractions. So this would be just a perfect way to get away, change the scenery, and be productive.
Yep,
Yeah.
exactly. Third question, what is your favorite thing about the Coven?
Oh, what's the favorite thing about the Coven? Just the community essence. You know what I mean? I can't, I'm not gonna get tired of saying that word. And it's true because it's like a hub for just like I said before, entrepreneurs, creatives, and just in general, just people, professionals, and just the general public. That's what I love about that. I always like meet somebody new who's doing great things,
Yeah,
and that's my favorite part. Just
awesome.
talking to them and stories, sharing their stories, and
Yeah.
so yeah, I would
And
say
I
that.
I think that's a lot of what especially solopreneurs need because they're doing this on their own.
Yeah.
They're looking for that support system, and I
Hmm.
think that that's something that we can offer them, which is
For
really
sure, and the
exciting.
Coven could be one of those people, those entity, I guess you could say,
Yeah.
well, that entity. Like I said before, and I think the summit that we had with the business development center, I feel like they're not getting enough credit. I feel because it's
Mhm.
like this information that they're giving us, and it's free. It's like literally
Yeah.
like you can just go to them, and it costs you nothing. You know what I mean? And I'm hoping to bring them more often and have more engagement in the community, because when I was starting out with the restaurant, essentially,
Mhm.
I had to learn all this. I had to like do it on my own. I had to
Yeah.
call people. I had to get in contact with the Chamber of Commerce, and then I had to talk to the city. So I had to like really acquire all these tools on my own. But then we can
Yeah.
tell you, if you're a person who's watching this, this program, that the Coven can be like the um, that bridge, to all this support and all this tools, I guess you could
Yeah,
say.
for sure. Because
Mhm.
collaboration is all about what we're
Yeah.
about,
Hmm.
right? And I know that was one of the things that I think I struggled with as well, because at the end of the day, this is a new startup venture as well.
Yeah.
And so trying to figure out, who do I talk to? What do I need to
Yeah.
know, especially buying a historic building like this and going through
Yeah.
the renovations,
Yeah.
making sure that who do I need to talk to?
Yeah.
How do I make that
Yeah.
happen? What are those finance groups? I mean, it truly takes an entire team of people working
Yeah.
on your behalf and behind you to do things like this. And
Yeah.
I think yeah, that's what I hope that we will be for people that are interested in that. And the other flip side is that, they don't have to be entrepreneurs or solopreneurs at all. Maybe they're just somebody, like I mentioned, the college student who
Yeah.
just needed the space to come
Hmm.
and work from, or just
Yeah.
needed a day pass. Or I always think too about people that are providing care, that if they have to travel into the community to bring someone to the health system, getting the word out to them that, hey, this is a place that you can come that's warm and friendly
Right. Right.
and
Right.
has a vibe.
Yeah,
And
you're right
so
about
you
that.
can
Yeah,
you can have that little bit of
for sure.
reprieve. So there's no
There's
limit
no
to what
limit.
people can use
There's
the
no
space for.
limit. Yeah, I mean anybody. Yeah, I didn't think about that. Yeah, winter's coming, so it'll be nice
Yeah.
to, because I know some of those procedures or treatments take hours, right?
Right.
Here, because we're in the community where, the Marshfield clinic is nearby, so it'll be a good place just to really, rest and grab some coffee and really,
Yeah.
and that's what I like about this environment. This is a really quiet, comfortable environment. So
Yeah,
so
for
definitely,
sure.
yeah.
Good. Well, awesome. Well, this has been a lot of fun and really
Yeah.
exciting. And I know you and I are getting to know each other better every single day and
Yeah.
working together, which is, we've got some great things coming up. I know we've got lots of dates
Yes.
that we're going to be pushing
Yeah.
out. So hopefully people will follow us on,
Yeah, we've been working
um,
a lot of things. Every day. We're constantly working. I mean, you don't see it right now, but soon you get to see all the events, um, like all the events and everything that we've been doing. So one of the things that I encourage the people who are watching this program, they can go to our Facebook page,
yeah,
which is the Coven Marshfield, and then also on Instagram is also the Coven Marshfield. That's where you can get up to date with everything that we're doing, events. We're doing a lot of we're doing a vendor fair. We're doing holiday events. We're hosting a wellness retreat. So go to the Facebook page and check it all out.
yeah, for sure. Awesome. Well, good. Well, just to kind of recap a little bit about what you can experience with this particular segment, we really want to reach out to those in the community that are doing some really amazing things. And they may have been doing it for a very long time, but maybe they've been doing it silently because a lot of people, they pursue their goals behind the scenes. And so we want to bring those people to light. We want to talk about some of the amazing entrepreneurs in our downtown area. We want to talk about some of the amazing entrepreneurs that we have upstairs in this building. We want to highlight people that are really trying to bring a service or a specialty or something really unique to this community because there are so many. I think that the opportunities for us to share some of these experiences are endless. So we hope that you'll tune in and you will join us in future episodes.
Innovative Marshfield, the Coven Connection and Marshfield broadcasting is sponsored by the Vault Marshfield. This downtown hub brings entrepreneurs, creatives, and small businesses together under one roof. Enjoy co-working with the Coven, Uptown Coffee, and boutique shops at the 715. The Vault is where ideas grow and community thrives. Learn more at vault-219.com and thecoven.com/Marshfield. Thank you for supporting local community TV.